Today we're going to be taking a look at the BookCreator app. So you can see my iPad screen here. I'm going to open up the BookCreator app, and if it's your first time opening the app, you will most likely go right to this, which is the Getting Started tutorial, and I definitely recommend that you tap on it. It'll take a minute to open, and use this arrow over here on the right hand side to begin clicking through. As you can see, there's already an Egypt game book there. I was tinkering with this earlier, but this is a really great tutorial. It tells you all of the different ways to shape and size and add images, how to use the inspector, and different ways to build your books. Now, we tap on My Books in the top left-hand corner here, and we click the plus. Now we're moving down to the bottom of the screen. This is how we would go ahead and start to make our own book. So we click the plus, and we would want to click on New Book. And when you click on New Book, what's going to appear is a blank book like this. I had already started one, and I had already named it. So let's take a look at these buttons down here before we move any further. The plus adds a new book. And a word about BookCreator, if you're using the free app like I am, you can only make one book. But we have the full version on the library iPad, so when your students use it, you'll be able to add and make as many books as you like. So don't worry about that. The next icon we're going to look at is the little I down here at the bottom, and this is very important because this is where your students will name their book. I suggest that you make this the first thing you do. So you have a title area, and when you tap in title, you get your keyboard and you can name your book. And then you would also want to have the author, and this is where your students will put their name. So once you've filled in all of those, hit done. And then your next icon as we move over to the right is your sharing options. And you can export as a PDF, you can export as a video, and we'll talk a little bit more about those options toward the end of this video. Once you're ready to get started, you simply tap on your book, it will open it, and you're ready to begin creating. The first thing you may want to do is tap this Pages button up here at the top left. This shows you the layout of your book. As you can see, I have 5 blank pages. That's just what it defaults to. You can hit Edit over in the right-hand side to add or delete pages. I'm just going to hit Cancel and return to my book. Now, the next place we want to focus is over here on the right side, and we want to move to using this plus sign. When you tap here, this is your starting point for adding media to your project. You have photos to add photos from your camera roll. Those can be photos you found on the internet, properly credited of course, or photos that you take from around campus or of each other. You can obviously hit camera to get right to the camera. The pen is a great drawing tool. The add text adds a text box where you can type and change the fonts and different things. And there are also sound options. And then if you look more closely down at the bottom of this menu, there are little sub-menus, and I just tapped on shapes, and those are some shapes and objects that you can enter into your project. Moving over, our inspector. This is where you change your page color, and there are a few other options as well that you might need. And sometimes if you're trying to make something very specific or exact, this grid setting is helpful. And then our final icon, our outbox, has some sharing tools and ideas, and we'll cover that more towards the end of the video. So let's make our first page. My book, as you may have seen from the title, was going to be about how to use the AV equipment in the gym. So I'm going to tap my inspector. For my page color, I'm going to look for a nice Holy Trinity blue, and you can use this little color inspector. I'm not the best with colors and art and design, but I'll try. I'm going to take that blue. I click on apply, and there is my blue page. Next, I'd like to add a picture because nothing looks better on the cover than a book than a lovely image. So I'm going to go to the plus, I'm going to click Photos, and I'm going to go to my All Photos to get through my photo album. And since my book is going to be about how to use all that equipment in the gym, I see this one I like. I tapped on it, and it put it right into my photo. You can use the sliders to sort of adjust your size, and I'm just have my finger on it, and I'm just moving it around. So that looks about good to me. Next, I want to add a title. So I think I'm going to choose a text box. And here is my text. And it's going to be called A/V Equipment Guide. So I hit done. Let's see how that goes. It's pretty small. So I'm going to center it where I want it. I double tapped on it just to edit, make sure my spacing looks good. I hit done. Now how do I change that font is probably your first question. The black is a little dark, so here's what I want to show you something. Notice if I have my photo selected, it puts the blue box around it, and I'm tapping the I up here in the top right. That gives me options for editing my photo. But at this point, I like my photo, so I'm going to tap in the blank area. Now you can see that my font is highlighted, so I tap the I, and here comes a whole bunch of font options. So I'm going to tap here, I'm going to pick white, I'm going to hit the back button, and I'm going to make it a tiny bit bigger. Obviously that's too big. You can drag your box, and it takes a little work. The kids will be good at this, and they will enjoy doing it, and I like that. So that is essentially how you've made your first page. Now I'm going to tap the button, move over to the right, and this is where I would begin working on my next set of pages. I can see that I'm already at 6 minutes on this video, so if you're still watching, I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to hit My Books in the top right to get back to that screen. In the efforts to save some time here, I won't make any more pages, but you can see basically how you put it together. So I hit My Books, I'm back home, I'm going to tap my information icon, make sure everything is properly named, and at this point my book is made and saved on the iPad. So now I'm going to hit the little out box, and this is where I could choose what I want to do with it. I can export it as a PDF, I could export it as a video if it had some videos or speaking embedded into it so somebody could play it back, or you can choose to export as an ebook. Now to get back to saving, we are going to tap our outbox icon. I would choose for this one, I'm going to export it as a PDF so I can print it out or share with people. So I tap export as PDF. You can choose single pages or side-by-side pages. I'm going to choose single pages, and here are my options. In my instance, I would hit add to Google Drive, and it looks like it's just doing it there. It's offering my equipment and my sign-in. So follow through the procedures, click upload right here, and that's it. You have saved your first iBook to Google Drive.